Hello beautiful people, welcome to your practical application of astrology. I'm pre-recording this on Friday because Spirit cleared my schedule. I was meant to have a client, but client didn't show up. So Spirit decided no more clients. Now is the vacation time. So I'm pre-recording this on Friday. It's going to be released on Sunday. So whenever you're watching this, this is the time for you, the real time for you. So at the time I'm recording this, moon is still in the sign of Virgo, which seems to be the case for my practical applications of astrology, either moon being in Scorpio or Virgo, which rules my Scorpio house, my 8th house. So yeah, so I guess this is the time for confessions, right? So anyway, guys, I do have some decks ready. I don't know particularly what I'll be talking about, but I have a little bit of clue. And also I am recovering from cold, so do excuse if you hear a little bit of a nasal voice over here. So anyway, before we start, let me just open this space, calling on my higher self, my spirit guides, my ancestors, ascended masters, starseed family, Akashic record keepers, angelic team, and all the beings of light that wish to be present for this co-creation. Thank you for being here. Also, I would like to specifically call in Kalima. Okay, Kalima wants to be present, and also Kuan Yin, because I do have the deck available, and that's actually the one that I would like to start with. I don't believe I've ever used this deck for public readings because Alana Fairchild, but this deck really wants to speak today, and then I'm going to pick up on the topic of whatever comes out and weave in my story and continue with that. So let's just shuffle. Let's start with Kuan Yin, Alana Fairchild, and see what wants to come through as the opening message. Okay, Kuan Yin, what's your message now after effects of Cancer full moon that took place on Monday? Many of us processing a lot of emotions. What's the message from Kuan Yin? Okay, we have a message here. Mother fears. Okay, looks like almost like a Kalima. Number 18, which is a number 9. Which of course is the year we are at. And it's interesting because there are a lot of, obviously because of what's going on in the world as well with the fires, but I really feel that a lot of us are burning all the emotions, purifying from inside out. So it's interesting because it looks like a lot of fire over there, a lot of solar plexus, sacral chakra, burning the fears of the past to reconnect with our joy, create stronger foundation, and then go upwards, right? The heart and the higher chakras. So Mother fears, and at the bottom we have the sound of the fierce flute. Okay, we have two fierce card, and this is a number 29, which is number 11. Number 29, number 11. So let's see how much I'll be able to read from each. Okay, sound of the fierce flute and Mother fears. Okay, let's see, because like I said, I don't use this deck often, never used it publicly, so let's see what are the messages. So number 18, we start with the Mother fears. Yeah, Alana Fairchild doesn't disappoint with her long channeled messages. Okay, so that's this one, Mother fears. Mother fears is your guardian. Nothing can penetrate the passionate fire of her fearless love. Your safety is assured, beloved, in the midst of any apparent challenge or threat, no matter how frightening it might seem, and no matter how insecure you may feel about taking a step on your spiritual path into more power. Know that you are safe, you are protected, and you are loved. Beloved, you have been growing spiritually, and sometimes this evokes responses from others. Yeah, this is definitely, I resonate with this very strongly with regards to what I'm going through. I hope others will too. The responses may be loving and affirming, encouraging and validating. Many will choose to be inspired by your growth. Sometimes, however, lower vibrational responses will arise, which may be fearful, insecure, jealous or angry. Absolutely. These responses arise so they can be healed. The healing for you is in how you choose to allow yourself to shine and not to be diminished by the healing process of another. For the other, their healing is their journey, and you have offered them a great service. Know that you do not need to be afraid, nor do you need to hold yourself back out of fear. There is nothing that escapes the notice of beloved Mother Kuan Yin. As a divine mother of fierce compassion and protection, she sees sees all, she knows all, she blesses all. She can lift you, beyond fear and threat, beyond into a peace of unity with divine love that secures you against any would-be threat and delivers you into peace. For you to benefit the most from her protection, you need to trust in her light and realize that she is shining through your own inner light, and she and you are one in truth. From this perspective, you can realize that you always have the right to say no to any energy or fear or doubt that seeks to cause you harm. Harm comes from a lower vibration. It does not need to be feared, but it does need to be responded to with assertiveness and compassion. Kuan Yin now helps you retain your inner peace in the face of any lower vibrational energy, so that you can be kind and accepting of the divine essence of in all existence, no matter how heavenly veiled and the divinity appears to be, and yet also remain assertive that only unconditionally loving vibrations are welcome in your energy field. Okay, and then there are prayers, but I'm not going to read that. So if you do have this deck, then do check it out. Okay, so like I said, I 100% resonate with this. I'm going to share, but let's go to the sound of the fierce flute, because yeah, my my practical application has a lot to say about connection to that card. But sound of the fierce flute, this was what was at the bottom, the number 29, which is the number 11. Yeah. Discernment empowers you to make choices that are aligned with your spiritual intentions, like a fierce sounding flute cutting through all vibrations with purity and intent. Your discernment allows you to stay true to your values and spiritual destiny without getting caught up in distraction. If you wish to grow spiritually through love, joy, peace, and abundance, then discerning between higher and lower vibrational choices is helpful. It is wise to be accepting of all of life and not to judge people or situations as good or bad. Some are more pleasant than others, and yet sometimes a challenge can turn out to bring us great growth and opportunity, which in turn becomes a blessing. However, this does not mean that we are wise to abandon the power of choice. We can use our discernment to be guided on our path to the most joyful, uplifting, and helpful experiences for our soul growth. Discernment is not judgment. It does not render some things better or worse than others. It is the power of selection based on desire or intention. If we intend to grow through joy and adventure rather than fear or suffering, then we can use our discernment to make choices that feel expansive and uplifting rather than constrictive and draining. Discernment is necessary in all realms of life, from the physical to the spiritual. From the sort of lifestyle we choose to lead, to the people we choose to spend time with, or the ways that we spend most of our time, even the kinds of spiritual energies that we invoke, discerning choices help us craft our reality. A wise use of discernment helps us to be truthful, clear, and accurate in our perception. Like the fierce flute cutting through all vibrations, discernment shatters illusions and gets to the truth of matter, right to the essence. With truth, there are no nasty surprises later on, or if there are, we can deal with them swiftly and use them for growth with minimal suffering. We can ascertain what is real and what is fake. This inner knowing informs our choices so that we seek out those people, places, opportunities, and experiences that feel aligned with love. Then our life path becomes one of greater joy and well-being. Your discerning powers are growing, and you are capable of greatest discernment when you listen to your heart and are able to let go of fear and shame, which can cloud your perception. This oracle has come to you because you are in need of seeing a situation in your life from your heart rather than from appearances. Don't be afraid to trust your own vision, beloved. It will help you live your truth and take good care of your own soul. Yeah, I feel these cards are very strongly connected, and it's interesting. There's the 9/11. Yeah, this is to me like the wake up call, like the clarion call, 9/11. So the 18 and the 29. Yeah, so this is very interesting because of the things that I've been experiencing recently, which I already touched upon in my previous video. And I feel now with this full moon in Cancer, which was the illumination of what got seeded for us last July 2024. A lot of emotions are coming up to the surface, and a lot of them are coming up to the surface for healing, because also emotion being the energy in emotion, these emotions, like I've said many times in previous videos, they are not yours. This is something that we were born into the physical body, and there is all this a whole spectrum of emotions that comes with it, right? So it is not about avoiding emotions, it's about learning to master the emotions, training our mind and training our emotional states, right? So they don't overtake our life. So I feel with this full moon in Cancer, we just had on Monday recently, on the 13th, depending where you are watching this, that's how much time has passed. For me, when I'm recording this, is only 5 days. And for me personally, this full moon in Cancer made a trine to my Saturn. So I know for me, and preparing for my first Pluto square, it is all about emotional maturation, taking responsibility for my life. But also, yes, with the South Node now in the sign of Virgo, and we have beautiful aspects with Mercury on Sunday, which is the day I'm planning to release this video. We have the sextile to Venus and Saturn from Mercury, because Venus and Saturn are having conjunction on Saturday. So by the time you're watching this, it will have already happened. So they start in a new cycle in the sign of Pisces, unconditional love. And Venus is going to make a conjunction to North Node in Pisces 3 times. Saturn is going to conjunct the North Node. Also, Neptune is just about to conjunct the North Node now in February 7th. So there is a lot of reset points that are happening for us, and this is all to do with starting to live life through this different way, through this heart-centered consciousness. But it doesn't mean that now, and this is the thing which I feel that it's many times difficult for us to identify, because with the Piscean age it was like, oh yeah, you put the other person first, isn't that heart-centered? But you're not supposed to be the martyr or the servant, and this is also what we're redefining, as I mentioned, touched upon previously with Virgo. There are a lot of things we are redefining. It is not about perfection, but it's also not about sacrifice. It doesn't mean that somebody is better than us or somebody needs are more important than us, like you have to use your discernment, obviously, but on a day-on-day regular life basis, nobody is more important than anybody else. So it is to use the discernment to obviously acknowledge which is when, but yeah, it is about not playing the role of the martyr, like I have to sacrifice because this is what a good person does, like no. So with this full moon in Cancer, I feel that a lot of things became illuminated with regards to these old identities, these old versions of ourselves, the roles we played, whether as ourselves in this lifetime, or whether our ancestors, or just the collective consciousness, all the roles that we played of all of those who walked the earth before, and being able to understand the emotions that are connected with it, and being able to master these emotions. So yeah, with regards to the cards, the Kuan Yin cards, and about burning this old density, with this, what was it, the mother fears, being able to set the boundaries and say no, but at the same time, discerning, just like I'm talking in circles about discerning, like what is actually going on. Because with regards to my situation, and I actually had the Reiki healing yesterday, so Thursday when I'm recording this, and a lot of things came up, because there is obviously this energy that I'm working through at the moment, that yes, it's a great teaching opportunity, but at the same time it is helping me to there are so many layers, and even this is what I struggled with in my meditation while I was having my Reiki healing, because yes, the perspective from 3D and 5D is very different. But this is also the discernment that it has to come through, but you are still in human body, so yes, we can understand and understand and spiritually, have that awareness of what's going on in this situation, what these people that are showing up in your reality, whether that's close relationships or not so close relationship, what is the role that they play to help you and you to help them, because it's always working both ways, like for them to show us what needs healing, for us to, trigger something in them or vice versa, whatever, but there is always like a mutual reception in that. So yeah, understanding that, okay, this person came into my life, or these people, to show me that, oh, okay, yeah, this is still something that needs healing, with regards to my personal experience. It's anger, and I am not an angry person. I didn't realize that there was so much anger pent up inside of me. So this situation that I've been experiencing, I don't want to say struggling with, because I've been experiencing this situation. It's not necessarily a struggle, it's an experience, and it evoked a lot of anger in me, and I'm like, well, where did this anger come from? Like I said, I don't consider myself an angry person. I don't feel that I get angry, even though some people might feel that the assertiveness of my voice might come across as angry. So perhaps that's what it is. So anyway, so it came to my awareness that, oh, okay, there is a lot of anger connected to certain situation or certain behavior, human behavior, with regards to like toxic divine feminine, for example, toxicity in relational dynamics between women, and obviously between men and women too. But that's why I felt called to use the Kuan Yin, because obviously the mother of the East, and it's all about forgiveness and compassion. So I can understand from the higher perspective the role this particular person that's in my mind plays, and I also can have a compassion for the wounding of this person and what needs to come up for this person to heal for them, and also what is in the same situation coming up for me to observe and become aware of and heal, transmute the energy. But then then I feel the other aspect of it is the discernment. Like, yes, like from the higher perspective, absolutely, namaste, thank you very much for the role that you played. I'm grateful that I could assist you in your own healing, but then we are still having a 3D experience at the moment anyway, and what is acceptable, right? Because and this is where I struggle, because yes, I can understand the inner child wounding, the ancestor wounding, I can understand the role that the soul plays, I can understand what we came here to to accommodate each other, I can understand all of that, right? But still, this kind of behavior, it is not acceptable in my reality, and me not setting up boundaries, or just like the card initiated, saying no to certain things, to certain low vibrational energies, because there is no need for steering it in circles, right? Then I'm technically saying that, oh yes, this is okay for me, or that this is what I'm worth, like this kind of behavior or treatment or approach from someone that I consider the friend, and it is not acceptable and it is not okay. So that's what I mean. So this is like where we are, yes, we can perceive the situation from our heart, but then at the same time it is necessary to set boundaries and redefine that, okay, I can have all the compassion in the world, but like this is also affecting me. So this is what I mean. So I don't know, obviously I can't say for other people like what this week has brought up for them, and this is technically what caused my immune system shut down, because there was nothing wrong with me until there was an opportunity to address the topic with this person, and the topic didn't get addressed. It just got swept under the carpet because nobody wanted to be the first one to approach the elephant in the room. And then after that conversation, my throat chakra shut down. Like I stopped. You can hear even now, like I had a problem swallowing, and then literally just all gone downwards from then, and then it just developed into like a full-blown cold. And I am not a person that gets sick very often, like very grateful for that. I have quite healthy constitution, I eat very healthy, I live very healthily. So I'm not a person that gets sick. Usually I get sick, if I do, once a year, if that. But yeah, this was definitely very energetical, and also because of my Reiki yesterday, I have a deeper understanding of why, because the body always responds. And yeah, if something, because this energy has been permeating in my auric field, in my experience for about 2 months now. So because this energy didn't get addressed, it didn't get balanced, it didn't get neutralized, and and all of that. Like I keep mentioning, the physical manifestation is the final one, right? Like we always get the signs, like you stressed or you are upset or whatever. We always get the signs. So when we don't do nothing about it, then the body just say, okay, that's it. So that's what happened with me, to me, to help me, because the body was like, no, I don't feel safe, I don't feel safe, I'm gonna shut down now. And like I said, the universe cleared my schedule. I was meant to have 5 calls this week, which turned into 3 because something got cancelled for me on Wednesday. And then today, like I said, Spirit just cleared my schedule. Like I wasn't actually planning to make any practical application of astrology, but, because I'm taking a week off, which is the other topic which I'm going to move into, the Spirit decided that, and it was 2020. Just as I said that, so it's the clear vision 2020. Like, yeah, this is something that has to be addressed. This is something that has to be talked about, because how many of us, in order to not, and this is so funny to me, because obviously, based on what I say to my client and, and stuff like that. But yes, I'm a human too, it is like, not like, sometimes, yeah, I call myself out on my own BS, that I'm a hypocrite, but it is obviously not so easy, when it is your very close personal relationships. And this is, of course, all what we are all working on, that, okay, how do you choose you when we are all being conditioned and programmed to please others and take other people's feeling into consideration and not upset others? And if it's someone that, you care about and you respect, like, oh, okay, like, does this really need to be spoke about? Let's just leave it, or something like that. But no, because then, just like, it's so funny, because I literally said that to a client yesterday, that like, if something doesn't get addressed, then the situation will come around again, whether it's with the same person, different person, because there is a growth that needs to take place for you, and if it's obviously the same person, for that person as well. And this is definitely the case with regards to this situation, that both parties, myself and the other person, have some healing and growing to do, obviously. So if the situation doesn't get addressed, then it's like the contract is not being fulfilled, not directly anyway, so it will just keep persisting, like, hey, like, this is what you're supposed, this is the role you sign up to play, right? You were supposed to have this conversation, perhaps, have the heart to heart, make yourself vulnerable, allow the other person to be vulnerable, because this is how we heal, right? When the heart cracks open. And the card of Three of Swords has been coming up so much for me. Like, I have so much triggers around that card, but that's how we heal, right? It is through that heart being pierced open, cracked open, like, like the Rumi, right? That's how the light enters you. So yeah, so if we don't approach that issue, that elephant in the room, then we are not helping, because we are not allowing for the healing to take place. We are just like delaying it and postponing the inevitable. So obviously this situation has not been finalized, so it will still have to be approached. But right now, I'm calibrating my physical strength. And like I said, I'm preparing, taking a week off next week. And this is the other subject that, like when, and this is something that I've been observing it myself again, which I'm happy to share, that we might think that there is something we really, really want. And I've been speaking about this for a few months now, like I really want, I really would like to have the experience of being in a union. I spent all my life single, technically, with short breaks in between, but nothing, that could be considered a long-term relationship. And as I've been sharing a few months ago, now I reached the state, unknowingly to myself, because I don't particularly check my own charts, that my Pluto is now in my 7th house, and that's what's gonna get squared in February. Now my progress Pluto be squared by Pluto in the sky, and my natal Pluto, which is in 9th house, is going to get squared in March, right after the eclipse in Virgo. So anyway, so no wonder, of course, that all these things are happening right on time, and yeah, so as I was mentioning, that I didn't understand like why suddenly all my attention is being focused into this aspect of human experience. It was never really a bother for me before, didn't care very much. And yeah, and I understand, because this is the next layer of my soul's evolution, that okay, well, you mastered this, you mastered that, but how about you master this now? And yeah, what I wanted to say, that like when that which you desire and you say you want is actually coming, it's almost here, it's coming on Monday, then the fear comes out. The fear that is the ego, right? The fear that is keeping us protected, has kept us protected all this time. It's the coping mechanism, the belief systems that are attached to whatever trauma we've gone through, that okay, I don't need that. Like I said, I never had a role model that would represent a healthy relational dynamic in my childhood. So I just thought, okay, relationship is not something that I desire. No thanks, because all I can see is a lot of drama and suffering and sacrifice, not my thing. So so there is a lot of fear that is still living in my subconscious. So this person coming on Monday, it's like bringing up a lot of fear, because suddenly it's like, there was all that like waiting, the expectation that okay, it's coming, and like feeling all happy about it and stuff, and now it's like almost here, and now the fear kicks off, because it's say like, oh well, I don't know, I don't know, is this really what I want? This is like a very vulnerable territory, like we've not been here before, not in this on this level of consciousness, let's just say, myself and the person, and also in this close proximity, living under one roof for a month, like, oh, okay, this is kind of like extreme. So I can really observe, and this is like, okay, for me personally, it's a relational dynamic, but, could be something different for you. But when we say we really, really, really want something, and we desire it so bad, and, we wishing, hoping, all that, putting good intentions, visualizing all of it, and then it's coming and it's almost there, whether it's your promotion or your whatever, like you really wanted to speak at the conference or something, and then it's almost there. Here's your chance, that's what you were praying for, universe is delivering it. And then the fear comes, the fear that it's stopping us. It's like a test, test from the universe, because it's like, are you ready to upgrade? Are you ready to go to the next level? And the fear is obviously like checking in, like, are you sure? Because and this is also Cancer, the ego is part of the Cancer, your human identity, the identity that you ascribe yourself to as this person in this life, this avatar with all the labels that you are attached to. So yeah, it's part of it, the ego is what helps us to survive, right? Like, everybody born has an ego. The question is it a healthy ego? Is it balanced? The superior, inferior, or majority people on the planet struggle with very inflated inferior ego, the not good enough, the shame, guilt, the feeling inadequate, feeling unworthy, feeling that we need to do all these extra things, externalize ourselves and people please in order to deserve anything, right? And then you have the superior ego, these people that think that they rule the world, right? There are a few of those, but most people have the inferior ego issue. And and then we're striving for the balance, because both are needed, like obviously you have to have a healthy dose of ego, like to survive in this world, because you don't want everybody to walk all over you. But then then there is also need for a little bit of humbleness, right, and grace, and having the compassion for the other, because if somebody is too much in their superior ego, then they don't have much compassion, they don't care, so that's what we are striving towards, to bridge the two. And then of course then we have our soul, the higher mind, and stuff. So anyway, I'm not going to go into this because I'm not an expert. It's just, like it's applicable to my example. So this is what is getting flared up for me personally, and with all of these other things, like, okay, like you could have speak up, you could have cleared this situation, but you are afraid, so is the other person afraid that didn't also establish certain boundaries in the situation and whatever. Like, like when we get really tested, like in many cases we don't do what we say we would do because we are afraid, because it means that, oh shit, I really have to, I really have to be responsible and then take responsibility for the consequences of my action. So yeah, so with regards to my personal example, this is something that is still unresolved. It will have to be addressed because, I shared when I was in Slovakia last time with my family, and I overstayed. I stayed for 3 weeks because of sorting out my citizenship paperwork and stuff like that. So it took a little bit. I mean, it didn't actually take that much time. I just thought it was going to take so much time, so I stay longer than I would normally stay. I know that before my limit is 2 weeks, and again I'm going to stay for 2 weeks next time I go, because of my mom's birthday, which is again, well, you knew that ideal now is for me 10 days or less, but again I'm pushing my boundaries because it's my mom's birthday and the flights and everything. So anyway, so when I went to Slovakia last time, after 10 days I got very sick. I started really having a lot of headaches. I was really sick. I lost my appetite, couldn't eat for like a week, which was great because I lost some weight. But it was just my body started responding in a very strong way that I never experienced before. But it just like that's what I mean. Whatever is going on in your life, this is just my example, whatever is going on in your life and is part of this cancer, self-nurture, connecting with your feelings, connecting with your soul, right? Whatever is going on in your life and you choose to ignore it. So for me, going to my family, understanding this is the role they play from the higher perspective. Again, it's the same thing. Higher perspective, I understand the role they play, I have a compassion for their wounding, for their inner child trauma they've gone through and stuff. But yes, there was still a lot of underlying anger, which I already shared in my practical applications when I came here. That friend pointed out to me that you are still angry at your parents for not being who you want them to be, but they are being exactly what my soul needs them to be, right? So from the higher perspective, I can acknowledge all of that, right? But from the human perspective, because I am pushing against my own soul, that is like, okay, yeah, we have an understanding, but doesn't mean I have to live in the same apartment with them for 3 weeks. No. So that's what I mean. From the 3D perspective of the human everyday experience, the mundane, this is not necessary. So how far do you need to push yourself to have this experience on a physical level until your body say that's it, So that's what happened to me in October when I was staying with my family. Overstayed my welcome for sure on each side. I didn't feel comfortable. My parents didn't feel comfortable. And then I got very sick. Like so sick that I literally thought that I had a brain tumor because I had a constant headache, and it was so bad that I actually had to take medication, which I never do, but just to be able to get through the day, because it was like, it was going to blow my head off. And it stopped as soon as I touched down in Puerto Vallarta. Even during my flights I had it, but less, much more intense, much less intense. But then when I touched down in PV, it just disappeared on its own. That was it was gone. So it's the same with this current situation. Yes, I have the understanding, awareness, compassion, blah, 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 blah. But there is still the anger. And the anger is because I'm not setting up the boundaries. I'm not speaking for myself, because not everything is acceptable. And you're not supposed to suffer through it as a human. You are the creator of your reality. I am the creator of reality. So why am I not creating the reality that I want, right? Because yes, in one way there are things you can control, there are things you can't control. I can't control other people. I can't control what this person does or doesn't do. But what I can control is my response to the situation, and stand in my power, and with love and compassion set some boundaries, right? And I failed to do that, which is why my body now is going, like, it's not going down, obviously, it's just a cold, but my body was like, okay, this is not okay, this is not on, because this is all then physical stuff. So anyway, so I really feel that all of these things are really connected, plus the fear of this, that, oh yeah, you say you desire something, and then when it's coming, are you ready to receive it? Because when this fear comes up to protect you, you have to be able to override it. Like, yeah, I know fear, you there, I understand. I understand exactly why my fear is coming up. I understand it, which is why I was single all my life. I understand exactly why I was single all my life, and but I know what my soul is desiring, and I know that this desire is greater than my fear. It is also about that, choose love, not fear, because at the end of the day, and this is also something that I advise, because it's so easy to advise someone else in their life. make decisions from the place of love, not from the place of fear. Because when we make decisions that are, stemmed from fear, then it's usually not the decision that is in alignment with our soul, right? It's just in alignment with the ego that tries to protect us. But again, not to ditch the ego and make it like, oh, it's all bad, because the ego is helpful. It just has to be in balance. It has to be healthy. And so anyway, through all of these situations that I'm experiencing personally, as the after effect of Cancer full moon and being a Cancer moon myself, even though my moon is too far from that full moon, exact, I did have a lunar return early on the day, but well, actually the day before, because my moon is on 9 degrees. Which is Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius degree. So this is all about creating this new story. My moon is on a cusp of a 5th and a 6th, so still in the 5th house. So this is about creation of this new story, but it has to happen from inside out through this emotional regulation, emotional mastery. So all these emotions, whether that's the fear or the anger or whatever it is just a messenger, it is just a messenger to help us to understand that, okay, something is out of alignment. You, anyone, we outgrown this behavior. It is no longer necessary, this kind of behavior between women, this kind of behavior between humans. It is not necessary anymore. This is like, from dark age, this competitiveness, jealousy, backstabbing, and all that kind of stuff. It is not necessary. We live in an abundant universe. There is plenty for everyone. So this is not necessary. So yes, so these emotions that's been resurfacing throughout this week. And of course, we had the Sun-Mars opposition, Mars retrograding Cancer. Yeah, everything is pointing inwards. Yeah, this is again about balancing, what is resurfacing for all of us that needs to be purified, right? That's why we are having fires. What needs to be purified? What needs to be purified from inside out, so it doesn't have to manifest on the outer. Just like for me, the sickness, it didn't have to manifest. I was perfectly fine until I had the call with this person. I was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with me. I had absolutely zero health issue. And then suddenly, it's all gone downhill. So that's what I mean. Any of this physical manifestation, whatever it is on the physical plane, it doesn't have to get to that point if we release the energy that's pent up on energetical level, which is, not what always happening. So when it does manifest on this physical plane, then we have to pay attention. We can no longer ignore it, because we are so good at ignoring our feelings and our emotions and stuff. It's just like, okay, I can't deal with this right now. Let me just get busy or distract myself or whatever. And yeah, that is no longer available to us, because Mars, as the former ruler of the North Node, and how Pluto acts consciously, still in opposition with Pluto, I believe, still, maybe now, maybe it's getting out of the orb, but still, Mars is retrograde in Cancer and Moon is moving, and we just had the full moon in Cancer, and currently when I'm recording this, Moon is in Virgo. So whatever Moon is doing is affecting Mars. So that's why I felt that, okay, Spirit cleared my schedule, because if I wouldn't have had today morning to do this, I wouldn't have time to do this at all. So I, and like I said, I don't know what's going to happen from next week onwards. So I don't really make particularly much plans with regards to my recordings. I don't know what am I going to do when. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to have the time to record my next practical application of astrology and what I'll be able and willing to share. So the Spirit was like, okay, this needs to be said, so I guess there is someone who will benefit from this information, that perhaps there is something similar that you experiencing, not necessarily the same details, but energetically, where we are learning to work with our emotions the way that they are designed to be worked with. So that, okay, this emotion is just a message. It's a messenger. It doesn't define me. I am not my emotion, I am not an angry person just because there is a lot of anger coming up for me with regards to certain behaviors that I am allowing because I'm not setting up boundaries. And this is literally what it is, the Capricorn, right? learning to set up your boundaries, learning to step into your authority, learning to discern, right? That's the Virgo, learning to discern what is and isn't acceptable. Yes, having all the inner vision and outer vision and spiritual approach to everything, but that doesn't mean people will treat you like a crap because you are spiritual. Like, no, this is not Piscean age anymore. So anyway, so that's what I mean. So however this is showing up for you, if it is showing up for you in this way, this is an opportunity for us to really see what do these things mean. And isn't that interesting that I had the last time I had experience like this when I was at my parents'. I think that was October. There was still Scorpio. I arrived here right before Scorpio, not right after Scorpio new moon, so there was in Scorpio season. And yeah, that's a trine, right? Trine between Scorpio and moon. And yeah, Virgo rules my Scorpio house, so of course today I'm supposed to talk about this. So anyway, and then yeah, with regards to the upcoming weeks, this is other aspects, with the Virgo, learning and adjusting. And like, I'll be the first one to say that yes, the way I've run my life, I've lived my life until this point, it is not sustainable. It is not sustainable because it doesn't really allow me to have the life that I now desire, because of my busyness, because of how busy my schedule is, and just kind of putting myself in the prison of my own making, and then having million excuses why I cannot do it any other way. So also having this experience from next week onward will be really challenging me, will be really pushing my boundaries. This is why I feel the fear and the ego is coming up, because it's like, well, what are you going to do with this? And I'm like, I don't know. And this is also what is forcing me, in my personal experience, on my personal journey, to learn to trust and surrender. Have faith, trust and surrender. Because if all of these things are landing on my doorstep, then obviously it is time for me to deal with them. And I know from how I feel and how I sometimes get very frustrated and resentful because of my busy schedule that I created for myself. I know that this is not in alignment with my soul anymore, because this is not the way, me or anyone is supposed to live. Going into Aquarian age deeper and deeper, and, with the Leo opposition, which is the heart-centered consciousness, the childlike innocence, the playfulness, the cards of children, whether it's the inner child healing or whatever, they've been coming up so much recently. Which is all about reconnection with the inner child. So so all of these pent-up energies, all of these pent-up emotions that have been stagnant, are coming up to inform us that, okay, this is not really an alignment anymore. There is no judgment, just like the card said. Discernment is not a judgment. It's not to say this is bad or whatever. It's just, okay, this is something I have grown now. This is not an experience that I need to be meddling with anymore. It's an experience that maybe I would be okay with previously, and it wouldn't bother me so much because that was the vibrational frequency I was matched to. And it was definitely okay in the previous centuries because that's the only way people knew how to be, But now there is no excuse. There is no excuse. We have all this wisdom and all these tools available to us. So it's just a matter, knowledge, because unless it's applied into practice, it's just an information, right? And then it becomes a wisdom. So this is what I feel, that with this Cancer full moon after effects and just about to enter into Aquarius season, which is taking place on Sunday afternoon. And this is post Sun making a sextile to North Node, trine to the South Node, Saturn conjunction to Venus, right? So Venus is kind of resetting herself over there in Pisces, being purified by the water, being cleansed. And then she's going to be purified by the fire when she moves into Aries. And she's going to go back and forth, have quite a few rinses and washes over there. And Venus is what? Relationships, of course it is. Venus is the rule of my Sun and my North Node, at least by the sign, not by the house cusp. But anyway, so this is what's going on. We are resetting our approach to life, our relation to life, whether it's just the thing, the circumstance, people, whatever it is. So this is, as I've already been mentioning multiple times, why these first 3 months of this year, they are so essential to do this inner work, to do the shadow work before we enter into Aries season, and before we have that new moon solar eclipse in Aries, the final one on 9 degrees, which of course is conjunct in my Venus. And I think I mentioned it, I'm gonna have Venus return 3 times because Venus is going retrograde. Venus is gonna conjunct my Venus and my Mercury 3 times throughout her forward, backward, and forward motion. So none of this is lost on me, with regards to my personal experience. You might not be having a Venus return 3 times unless you are early Venus in Aries, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't apply to you, because Venus is going to be in Pisces and Aries retrograding for everyone, so this is impacting everyone, and Venus is the former ruler of the South Node, which was all about the taking the power back from the external, whether it's a relationship, person, or whatever it is, Libra. It is that which you are observing as a divine being, having a human experience from the avatar that you are observing and having a relational dynamics with. It doesn't matter if it's a human, it could be anything. So this is what we are changing, that, why do I still allow these situations, circumstances, other people behavior to determine how I feel about myself or how I feel about my day? And this is when the wound comes up, why do I feel that my sense of worth is determined by someone else or somebody else's behavior or lack of respect or lack of loyalty? That doesn't say anything about me. What it says about me is that why do I tolerate it? So literally this person treating me in this way is saying that, okay, this is how potentially they see me, but they see me that way because I didn't put boundaries, so I didn't have them a reason to redefine that opinion. So that's what I mean. So this is how we helping each other to learn. This is how we helping each other to see, like, okay, what would give this person an idea that it's okay to behave in this way with regards to the connection we have, right? And then I have to look at myself and go, well, you didn't address it, did you? You didn't really state new boundaries. So yeah, so that means that I'm okay with it, right? That's kind of behavior. So that's what I mean. And then we have to question, well, why didn't I do it? Because what? I put this person needs or feelings about my own, because if I say something, what if they get upset? And maybe they need to get upset, because if they don't get upset, how will they know, what needs healing in them? Because again, that upset, the emotion that is going to be running through the other person's system is their message. It is their emotion in motion that got stuck somewhere. So it's coming to the surface of their consciousness to deliver a message of what needs to be balanced, what needs to heal. The sun in opposition with Mars, right? This is just so, it's just so perfect. Everything is always perfect, guys. Seriously, whatever the hell is happening on the inner and outer is always perfect. And it's not perfect like from our human ego understanding that, well, this is not great. How is this perfect? Because the way the soul identifies it as perfect, but still discerning and having a human experience over there, and it's okay to not be impressed by this. It is perfect because it's allowing us to heal, grow, and evolve. So that is the perfection in this situation, because would this situation not occur and we wouldn't be challenged, to reassess things and to ask ourselves some very deep questions, how would we ever change? How would we ever grow? How would we ever evolve? Nothing would ever change, right? That our life would not change. We also wouldn't have the contrast to realize that, oh yeah, before I was okay with this, that was what I wanted at that time, because that was my desire at the time, but it's not anymore. So I've grown. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for being the contrast. And because we also have this tendency, especially if we worked so hard towards something, and again, when we get it, so that's again, I'm observing myself saying this, because of like, oh yeah, didn't I just say about the fear and going past the ego? But yes, sometimes, like when we get that which we want, then we might realize that might not have been the right thing, right? It might not have been the right thing because maybe the reason why we wanted it was not from the soul place. Maybe it was from the ego place, whatever it was. Or, yes, like we want something and it's in alignment with who we are now. And then 1 year, 2 years, 5 years later, you outgrown that you were at the time of when this thing or person came into your life, and it is no longer in alignment. And this is where, we have to learn to become more and more fluid and flexible with regards to our attachment, that this is how it used to be, so it has to stay the same. Whether it's a relational pattern or whether it's whatever it is, a job or something that, oh, but I used to enjoy my job, I used to love it, why do I not love it anymore? Well, because you evolved, you grown, and now this job, before it was the desire, now is the contrast. So you know that, okay, you know, I'm ready for a new thing, new relationship, new partnership, new friendship, whatever it is, right? That will be in alignment with who I am now and will take me to who am I becoming. But this is not so easy when the ego comes in and the emotions come in and our emotional attachments to the past and the stories and the memories and stuff like that. So this is what the full moon in Cancer is kind of helping us to work with and balance, you know, neutralize that. Okay, well, and this is again where I feel like, you know, that card about, you know, don't use judgment, use discernment. Discernment is not judgment. None of that is right or wrong. You know, none of that is bad or good. It is what it is. And you have the opportunity to discern, is this the right thing for me? It is not right and wrong in itself, you know. Doesn't make it bad just because I don't want it. It is just make it not compatible with my energy. It makes it not in alignment with my soul's growth. So that's what I mean. So this is how, you know, like I have the opportunity, I suppose, to heal my anger. That, okay, well, you know, it doesn't make it bad, you know, it just make it, it's not your thing anymore. That's fine, you know, it's fine. No need to judge. So I feel that this is the work that we are doing. Well, this is the work that I definitely need to do, and I'm doing, you know, with the South Node in Virgo, entering my 8th house, right? Yeah. Oh, I just realized that, oh, yeah, it's entering my 8th house. Okay. You see, this is what happens when you are an astrologer and you don't particularly pay that much attention to your own chart, like regularly anyway. And I'm like, oh shit, South Node is in my 8th house. Oh yeah, of course, this stuff is coming up now for me to look at again, you know, with the North Node in the 3rd house. That, oh yeah, is this serving you? You know, this way of thinking, this way of identifying reality, is that helpful? You know, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel good? Because if it makes you feel good, then it's helpful, right? If it doesn't make you feel good, then no, you outgrown it. You are no longer a match to this frequency. You need to change it, right? And that is the choice. That is the Jupiter. Excuse me. That is the Jupiter in Gemini, still retrograde until February 4th. Yeah, that's it. You know, that's well, you have a choice. You know, you are the magician, you are the creator. But it all sounds so easy to say these things, right? It's not so easy to put them into practice, right? The Virgo, like, oh, you need to walk your talk over there, right? So guess what? You know, the astrologer, now you have all these energies landing in your lap, you know, on your doorstep, so you can put some practical, you know, practical thing to it, application. And yeah, then let's see how it goes for you. So this is it, right? So you just have to laugh at these things sometimes. And yeah, if you don't, then don't you know, don't feel bad if you get a little bit sick, you know, like, because your body is just saying like, nah, sorry, I'm not gonna support this kind of energy over here. So yeah, so also, like, you know, rather than getting pissed off at us, like, what the hell, why did I get sick? You know, my body betrayed me. It's like, oh, okay, you know, just like the emotions were telling me something which I chose to ignore, now my body is telling me something. So this is not my body's fault, it's not my emotions' fault, this is all just a guidance system, right, to support me through this hero's journey on planet Earth in this avatar. So yeah, it's not your body's fault, you know, your body is just telling you something is out of alignment and you didn't pay attention, you didn't, you know, do anything about it. So the physical manifestation is the last one, and this is me talking to myself over here. Like, yeah, you didn't do nothing about it, did you? So don't be surprised. So anyway, guys, so I feel like, you know, the spirit is just getting a little bit funny here. So yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm taking next week off from the 20th for a week. I am going to focus on my personal life and establish new dynamics, and I guess adjust to the new dynamics. And then, yeah, and then I'm back to action. I'm going to be pre-recording my Aquarius new moon, right? New moon, Aquarius new moon, which is on the 29th, alongside with the new lunar year, the Wood snake. It's beginning at the same time as the Aquarius new moon cycle. Energy is being reset over there. So I'm pre-recording this video on Sunday, which is why I'm releasing this on Sunday, because on Sunday I am recording different videos, so I can't record this on Sunday, and that video will be then released on the 25th, which is meant to be some very auspicious day because of some planetary alignment or something. And yeah, then I'll be back to work. So yeah, so I'll just be taking it easy and see how it goes, how it flows, and just go with it, flow with it, because I have no clue. I have no clue about my life. I have no clue about where my life is going. I did make arrangements for my next step of the journey, going back to Bulgaria in May, because I have to go back to Europe, and then obviously I cannot stay at my parents' place, and I don't particularly want to stay, and I don't particularly want to stay in Slovakia, so I'm heading back to Bulgaria in May. So I made these arrangements, but that's all I know. And Spirit is like, and that's perfectly fine. You're not supposed to know anything else, because you will not be the same person in May than you are now, so don't worry about it. And this is the thing that is, I feel so hard for many of us, that necessity to give up the control, to trust and surrender, and just to be in the flow of life, that okay, this is landing on my doorstep now, I'll deal with it, and then off to the next thing, and just go like that, because this is not what we were being programmed to act like. We programmed to have the plans and have everything under our control, or the illusion of control anyway, because nothing is really fully in our control that is to do with external. We can only control our internal, and our internal response to the external. We cannot control the external, right? Especially when it's people. So anyway, so this is the plan of action, and that obviously everything is changing all the time. So holding it to it lightly. And I'm gonna pull a few more cards now, because it's already almost 55 minutes. So okay, let's see what else we can cook up with the Spirit through the cards. So yeah, Kuan Yin, very helpful. Definitely a lot of fierceness coming up, especially as we are just about to enter into Aquarius. Yeah, I'm really happy, because that's gonna be entering my first house, my house of Aries. So new beginning, new cycle is beginning. I mean, right on time, right, with the new moon in Aquarius conjuncting my ascendant, my Jupiter, activating my skip step, squaring my node, squaring my sun, squaring my Pluto. It's just going to be a shit show over here, but let's see. Opposing my DC. Yeah, it's gonna be all fine, because it's happening exactly as it's meant to, in order for the evolution to take place. So yeah, let's just go with that. It was 5511, as I said that, which is number 12, co-creation. Look at things from different perspective, girl, hangman. Okay, let's see what the hidden realms, wisdom of the hidden realms. Okay, let's focus. Hidden realms, what is the guidance with regards to the post-Cancer full moon energies and the purification of emotions that we are going through? Okay, what we've got going on here. Sisters of the seasons. Cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order. And it's number 17. And what day is today? I don't even know what day is today, guys. What day is today? Isn't it 17th today? Yeah, today. Today is 17th when I'm recording this. Yeah, 17, number 8. We building up the strength. Look, all these guys are supporting one another, supporting one another. So everybody in our life, they're just helping us to grow, no judgment, but use your discernment and put boundaries when necessary, right? Because sometimes you outgrow the lesson and you go, thank you, don't need you to teach me that anymore, thank you very much. So yeah, sisters of the seasons. Yeah, everything comes in seasons, everything is cyclical, nothing is to be forever. Natural law, divine order, perfect. That sounds very in alignment. And oh my god, I have, what is at the bottom? The Queen of the Light, that's reversed. Illumination, enlightenment, celebration, and that's number 15, which is the Devil card in Tarot, but it's also number 6, which is the lovers, the choice. So this is reversed. So that's not where we quite at. We're not quite there yet, we're still going through the fields. So anyway, let's see. We're going through this to get to that, but at the moment it's like this. We're going through the cycles. We don't see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, but don't worry, it's coming. So, Sisters of the Seasons, number 17. Start with that. All right. There's this one, and look, this angelic being overlooking all of that. It is all in divine order. Don't worry. When the sisters of the season, this is as ally, when it's up front. When the sisters of the season meet on your path, they remind you that everything has a natural rhythm that obeys a higher law. Just as the seasons magically pass, be reminded that the nature of birth, growth, harvest, and decay cannot be altered. So if you keep on your path with determination and discernment, allowing for the natural course of events to unfold, success is assured. Divine appropriate timing is guiding your desires into perfect manifested form. This is a very good period to start new things, as you've moved out of winter into beginning of spring. Continue with patience and be aware of the rhythms of your opportunities. There will be periods when things slow down and begin anew, moving to fruition, and then slow down again in a never-ending natural flow. Be mindful of which sister greets you, for she points directly at the next. Every moment counts now. Yeah, I feel this is very applicable. Well, it is to my situation. I hope you can find yourself in it too. And I really feel, again, it's about the spring. You know, the new cycle is being seeded, especially with the new moon in Aquarius that we are approaching. New cycle will be seeded, but, you know, the things will start really taking form in Aries season, which is the sextile between Aquarius and Aries. So this is all just the beginning. But yeah, which sister is pointing you where, right? The cycle of growth. Okay, and the Queen of Light, which is a challenger. That's a number 15. The Queen of Light as a challenger, which is when it's reversed. The Queen of Light challenges you to shine your light and not give in to fear. Are you hiding yourself for fear of rejection? Are you afraid of success as you are of failure? The light of the divine shining within you is the power that expresses through you. This, not your ego, is the authentic place of self-expression. The Queen of the Light also challenges you to look at how you're affected by glitter, glamour, and the superficial dreams of society. Are you mesmerized by false power? The material world is fleeting, nothing lasts forever. Make sure your intentions come from deep within you and don't base them just on money or power or what you think love will do for you. Ask instead what you can offer, what you can give. True wealth resides within peace, harmony, and sense of purpose. Remember that light isn't garish and cold, nor it is manufactured. It's warm and brilliant and natural. Give up the attachment to the outer goal, and if it's meant to be yours, it will surely come. Yeah, so I really feel the discernment is coming up a lot, especially as the sun is going to be trining the south node. By the time you're watching this, it will have already happened, the trine to south node. This is really, with this emotion, it really is the discernment time. You know, why do we want what we want? You know, why do we want what we want? Is it to cover some kind of wound, you know, to make ourselves better by expecting somebody else to do for us what we really need to learn to do for ourselves? Like, what is the intention? What is the story behind it? So I really feel, like I said, with this Mars retrograde still in Cancer and these first 3 months of the year, until Aries season, there is a lot of this going on for us, you know, so taking it just, you know, from myself to the outer and what other people might be experiencing, you know, the seasons are changing, everything is cyclical, and now we are, in a sense, at this crossroad of we know that the old has ended. Pluto is not going back into Capricorn, has ended, but Saturn and Neptune are going to go back and forth between Aries and Pisces until next year. So this is a discernment time to allow your light within, you know, your higher self, your higher mind to guide you, to learn to master the thoughts and emotions so they no longer run in our life, you know, the trauma response, the coping mechanism, the unhealthy attachment styles, you know, the savior, victim, what is it, the savior, victim, and the prosecutor, you know, triangle mentality and all the rest of it. So yeah, this is where we want to go, you know, when the Queen of the Light is upright, when the Queen of the Light is your ally, is a Queen of the Light is a beautiful ally. It's 1111. Okay, perfect. So and comes into your life to herald success in all your ventures. She illuminates the most important steps on your path and reminds you of your own brilliance. You're intelligent and inspired, and all your needs will be met. Remember that you are the instrument of the divine shining through you in this world. You're on the correct path for your highest good. The Queen also brings you insight into how you manifest your reality in the most miraculous ways. She promises that you'll be shown the next action and celebrates you as you stand brilliant, joyful, and enlightened in as you stand brilliant, joyful, and enlightened in the present time. You worked hard to come this far. You can be proud to stand tall in your conviction that in your heart of hearts you know the truth of your situation. Rewards for your perseverance and willingness to learn are on the way. Gratitude and acceptance are key today. Yeah, this is exactly just underlying, what I've been tapping into, and like sharing through my experience that when we heal these wounds and trauma responses and this unresolved stuff from the past, then we can start operating through the core essence of who we are, from the like this undiluted place of the heart and the light. And that's why I feel, this is the other aspect with the Mars in Cancer retrograde. By the time it gets back to Leo in April, which is post the eclipses, post full moon in Libra, we will have much more clarity with regards to why was I behaving that way? Why was I doing that? Oh, okay, I understand that was my inner child wounding. That was the unresolved anger I have towards my mother or whatever, So at the moment we are seeking clarity through feeling and learning to work with these emotions, because yes, in essence, we are all light. We are all love. Every single one of us, we all came from the same place, return to the same place, but the roles we chose differ, and everybody's needed because we are just assisting each other, through the role we play in to, yes, grow, expand, and heal, but also to allow others to grow, expand, and heal. So in essence, what anybody is doing, it is not an expression of who they really are. It's just the role they play, and in many cases, a trauma response. So this is just like the Kuan Yin card said, use your heart to discern, like, what is this about? What is this about? Like, having the understanding of the higher perspective of the situation, and then acknowledge it for what it is, take it for what it is. And then, then you can put the boundaries, because if it's not in alignment, then you don't have to interact with that energy anymore. So I really feel this is so aligned. Yeah. So everything is cyclical, and everything is here to teach us to come back to our true self. And then it will be easy to go with the flow and just trust and surrender to the universal intelligence, because it will be all guided through inside out, from the place of heart, and it will no longer be tainted by this wounded ego and wounded inner child coping mechanism. So I think that's really profound guidance. Okay, now we go to the sacred earth, what Mother Gaia wants to tell us about all of this. The sacred earth oracle. Okay, Mother Gaia, our true mother while we're here on this planet that is sustaining us and our life here. What is the guidance from the Mother Earth for this time that we are going through? Okay, what is going on here? Efficiency. Oh, and she's holding like a circle. It looks almost like a Nautilus shell, but not exactly. So use this time efficiently for healing, the cycle, so the cycles can close. And also it's like a fire is burning that to create the inspiration for the new to be birthed. And productivity. Efficiency and productivity. I think we saw this card before with the child. Productivity, birthing the new earth, healing the child within to birth the new relational dynamics, being efficient in how we are dealing with this situation. And there are all these spirals here coming from her hair, right? Okay, let's see what this means. Efficiency. Okay, so there's this one. Earthy meaning. So this is the human experience, the Virgo. Unnecessary or fruitless struggle, A fresh approach to an old problem brings a surprising reward. Free up funds, time, and energy by tweaking your budget, schedule, or routine. Look for ways to do more with less. A minor adjustment in attitude or methodology can make a massive difference. A creative breakthrough is imminent. Spiritual meaning. Imagination can be your greatest asset if you value and nurture it. This requires some daydreaming, playfulness, and light-heartedness. Let your imagination guide you to new ways of seeing and being in the world around you. The resources you need are all around you, so take the mundane and make it transform your world into something magical. Okay, so this one, yeah, opportunities to transmute the old energies into something new, something that is more efficient to our life on this planet, and productivity. Earthly meaning. The energy and experiences you have been handed can be converted to meaningful, life-affirming outcomes. With a little work and perspective, an obstacle will become a stepping stone. Do what you can, when you can, and make steady progress. Effort is required to transform an idea, experience, or knowing into something more solid. Once it has formed, new growth will follow. Spiritual meaning. The Divine Mother dwells in every heart. Her light is inside and all around you, for she is all that is beautiful throughout our world. She lives in every mountain, meadow, tree, and blade of grass. Her light illuminates the stars. Her wisdom guides the moons. Her brilliance flows from the sun. She is a wild flower whose perfume teases our senses to curiosity, action, and the pursuit of joyous life. This is, I feel, very much the Leo, this Mars moving back into Leo. So yeah, this is again underlying my belief, which I'm finding a proof for it, that while Mars is in Cancer, yeah, all of this old stuff, the old patterns, the old way of relating, old way of identifying situation. Like, I could look at this situation and make the person that, this is like, the person is wrong, how dare they, and just make it like, just put all the negative labels onto this one person, make them the sacrificing lamb and move on. And then attract the same situation with someone else until I understand it on a deeper level, right? Because these are, again, it's not this person, and it's not even the emotion, it's not even the behavior, none of that is that this person is owning that, right? Like, these are situations, behaviors, and emotions connected to this that are connected to humanity, that are as old as time. Virgo South Node, that we are learning to heal, right? With the Sun trining South Node, with Mercury sextiling Sun and sextiling Saturn and Venus, right? And Saturn-Venus conjunction. We need to look at the ways we relate to life and our relationships through the lens of unconditional love. Doesn't mean everything is acceptable, okay? Again, boundaries are important, discernment is important, but having the inner understanding, why is this happening, right? So this is like the first 3 months, this is what we'll be going through. Like, I really feel that, like, a lot of that will be happening, because again, Venus is gonna go retrograde after Mars. Mars is retrograde until end of February, Venus is stationed in retrograde at the beginning of March. Also, Mercury will be retrograde until April. Well, Venus is until April. I don't know exactly until when Mercury is retrograde, but I know Venus is until the full moon in Libra, yes. So anyway, so this is all helping us to approach old situations with this newfound understanding of what we've learned, especially, since the North Node is now in Pisces, which is all about everything is source, everything is love, everything has a meaning. It's just how do we work with it, right? And the Mother Earth is saying, love is all around you. Everything is abundant. So it's about how you use it, right? It's all there, but how you use it. Do you use it to your advantage or disadvantage? That's up to you. That's the choice. Again, Jupiter in Gemini. Do we use the old program and the old way of identifying situation, or do we look at it differently? Okay, let's ask angels now. So this is the angel guides from Carl Gray. This is the deck I was meaning to use the other day, but then I switched it for, I don't even know which deck it was that I switched it for, but yeah, you know, I was like, okay, it will speak another time. So angel guides, what are the angels wanting to help us to understand with regards to these situations we might be experiencing? Your situation different to mine, but I'm sure energy is the similar one. Okay, what is the angel guidance with regards to the energies we are collectively experiencing at this time? After effects, full moon in Cancer, ramping up for new moon in Aquarius and Aquarius season, and beginning of the new lunar year too. Okay, compassion, makes sense, eh? North Node in Pisces, yeah, compassion, have compassion for yourself and the other. Yeah, the heart is coming online. Yeah, sometimes through getting broken. That's sometimes the only way. If the walls are too high. And no, this is again about the boundaries, being able to say no. Not everything is acceptable, but have a compassion, you know, with regards to the situation. Okay, let's read about the compassion. Compassion. Okay, your message. So it's this one. Your angels are wrapping a light of compassion around you at this time and guiding you to let go of conflict or the need to prove your point. The more you resist and fight, the unhappier and more drained you will be. Pointing out mistakes or mishaps or concentrating on the negative traits or actions of others will only hold you back. Don't let the unjust actions of others block your experience of joy and freedom. Take time to review where in your life you may be feeling held back or even consumed by frustration and anger, and ask your angels to shine their light upon you and the situation. Extended message. Changing how you see yourself will help change how you see how others see you. Angels are surrounding you at this time and encouraging you to see yourself through their loving and holy eyes. All of the ups and downs you have faced, all of the insecurities you have overcome, and all of the setbacks you have moved beyond are testaments to your resilience and strength. So have compassion and respect for yourself. Angel wisdom is encouraging you to love and treat yourself the way you would love to be loved and treated by others. Then your own actions will be mirrored back to you by those around you. So ask your angel guide to help you be more compassionate towards yourself now. Yeah, a lot of healing again, moving away from the judgment of yourself and another, but it has to start with each of us, right? Okay, and let's look briefly at the no, but the no is a no, you know. Okay, the no is this one. Your angels are drawing close at this time to help you recognize that the answer to the question on your mind is no. This is not the time to proceed. You may want to, but you are being encouraged to see beyond the current situation and understand the following through on your ideas might have a negative effect on the whole course of your life. Angels are swooping in because they want to save a day and save you a lot of heartache from a choice that is not heart-centered. If you are feeling upset or annoyed by this guidance, it is okay. You are allowed to have an emotional response, but in truth, there will be a part of you that already knows that what you are considering isn't the best use of your energy. Extended message: do not make plans. Do not move forward. Retreat and reflect. Think deeply. Seek the advice of those you love and trust and ask them to help you to get to the bottom of the question or issue or decision that is before you. Do not make any sudden moves. This card is coming in to help you sustain your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy and stay on the road to wholeness. Yeah, this is what I feel with regards to this time. This is not the time to go forward. Mars is still retrograde and Venus will be retrograde. This is a time for a very deep inner introspection. And that's why even with regards to, I have made no choices and no final decision with regards to anything and any relational dynamics, because I know that I'm not necessarily in the right place. I don't have the clarity and I don't have enough information. And I know that there are experiences that have to take place in order for the next step to become clear. So this is with regards to my experience. However, this is showing up for you. It might be very different, but I know very deeply for myself, for my own guidance, that this is not the time to make any like a final decisions about anything or anyone. So yeah, and this is because we are cultivating the compassion and forgiveness towards oneself and in others, so we can approach life from a different place, you know, the Queen of Light, from the heart-centered place. And yeah, productivity. So we can create a new earth that is different from the old one, because we transmuted the old energy. So that's why right now we're transmuting the old energy. So we are not taking it with us into the future, so then we have to re-experience the same patterns over and over again. Okay. And the final deck I'm going to use is the Sufi Oracle, because there are always beautiful loving messages in here. So this will be the closing message. Okay, closing message from the Wisdom of Sufi. Okay, what is the guidance, Sufi? Okay, what is this? Move forward. So that one say, don't move forward. This one says, move forward. Experience the grace of who you truly are. You know, this is the evolution. You are moving forward on your evolutionary path, but doesn't mean that you're supposed to go and do something right now. An open mind. Yeah, have an open mind. I'm sure this card came before. Replace the old cycle with the new and exciting one. So yeah, move forward into the new cycle with open mind. Move forward with the open mind. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's see. Sufi Wisdom Oracle. Move forward. But remember, with the open mind. Okay, the open mind open first. Okay, open mind open first. So first we're gonna read about the open mind, because the move forward can be a little bit misleading after the last card. Okay, open mind. So with this one, lot of healing, lot of green, lot of blue, but then we have the orange, pink, and the sacral, right? Solar plexus, the higher heart, well, the heart, you know, the pink, and the orange is the sacral. Yeah, healing this. That's what I mean, you know, like once we hear the fear, you know, that is in our solar plexus, this need to defend ourselves and make somebody else wrong, you know, the ego wants to always be right, you know, even though there is no right and wrong, you know, doesn't make anybody right or wrong, you know, it's just, it is what it is. And the sacral reconnect with the joy, you know, with the creativity, with our sensuality and the heart, you know, so then we can go back to the heart and the higher chakras. So the open mind, replace the old cycle with a new and an exciting one. Oh, you with feet willing to move and a mind that is closed. Life rises in one who knows to open the mind as the river flows. Rumi. A spiritual gift helps you discern and choose wisely. You are now endowed with the ability to clarify your thought process and bring new light to a situation. The oracle invites you to boldly open the window of your mind to fresh insights, integrate your thoughts, place new value on your decisions, and confidently put them into action. Avoid criticizing beliefs that are contrary to your current ways of thinking. Try to be open-minded and more positive. Analyze the situation and look at all sides of an issue. When you weigh the pros and cons and stay open to new ideas and fresh ways of doing things, you will surely reap the rewards that you want. When you change an old, uncomfortable belief, you may feel uneasy and afraid for a time. This can make you feel vulnerable and unsure. Know that there is a great value, freedom, and kindness in your learning and listening to views other than your own. By opening your mind to new ideas, you will give yourself the chance to explore a broader variety of options. You may not choose to change your belief, but be assured that this attitude opens you to the possibilities and helps you to cooperate with others. You are at the beginning of a breakthrough. Set sail for a new horizon. And the mantra is, I discern the truth in what I believe. I am open to considering new ideas and thoughts as I seek the highest solution for everyone involved. Okay, and then is the move forward. With that new open mind, and you know, also trying to understand the other person's point of view, we move forward. Experience the grace of who you truly are. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the door sill where the two worlds touch. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep, Rumi. The time has come for you to become aware of the inner glow that is calling you into your place in the world and who you are becoming. Your path is now guiding you into a greater consciousness, a greater ability to respond to all that is around and within you. This is a beautiful revelation that will soon flower into the discovery of a new creative life. Be ready to experience that every day as if you are seeing it for the first time. Dear one, now you are ready to move forward and manifest your ideas and plans. Let go of the need to be in control and become less rigid. While it is necessary to have a vision and direction, it is also important to be flexible in your approach to getting there. By going with the flow, you will reach your destination in a far more relaxed state than if you keep trying to resist it. Rumi has come to encourage and empower you to stop playing it safe, to wake up and live your own dreams. Bloom into new horizons and change. This oracle is prompting you to finish the work at hand and move forward by emphasizing your new direction. Begin by engaging your imagination. Visualize the success of your heart's desire. Satisfaction comes when you faithfully follow a direction through. A freed imagination can give you the discipline and motivation to accomplish the greater goals in your life. It is all beneficial. Do not procrastinate. Know you are safe and protected. Good fortune ensures. Mantra: I am moving forward with the determination to realize my hopes and dreams. I do this with a deep certainty and an inner knowing that I will reach every goal I set and will achieve every aim. Perfect. Perfect. This is very much the South Node in Virgo. Open your mind, use your discernment, right? And the North Node in Pisces. Move forward by using your imagination to manifest that which you desire. Connect with your heart, right? That's a perfect closing message and gives us the homework for the next 3 months while Mars is retrograde in Cancer, right? By reconnecting with our emotions, Jupiter is obviously exaggerating our thoughts to help us master them. Then he's going to help us master our emotions from June. So it's all perfect. It's all happening for us, right? And in order to, move into this new cycle, we need to purify the old. So this is where we at. Okay, with that, guys, I would like to close. I would like to thank my higher self, spirit guides, angelic team, ascended masters, especially Kuan Yin, also Mother Gaia, our ancestors, if I didn't mention them already, Stasit family, all the beings of light that were present. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you everyone for watching if you're still watching. As I mentioned, I'll be releasing this on Sunday. Do watch it at your own leisure because I will not be releasing anything for a week. And I wish you all a wonderful week ahead, a wonderful Aquarian season, because we are just about to enter into it today on Sunday, when you're watching this, if you're watching it on Sunday. And yeah, wonderful Aquarius season, and I'll speak to you again soon. Much love everyone, and bye for now.